Thank you to Maple from Canada for sponsoring today's video. What's for dinner? Hey everyone, I'm Chef Z and welcome back to my channel, Chef Z Cooks. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make fried turkey with a chili maple sauce, which is truly delicious and just in time for the holidays. Now, first things first, I do want to thank Maple from Canada for sponsoring today's video. And as you guys know, Maple from Canada are friends of the channel, and I recently made some bourbon maple ribs, which were also delicious. So go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. Now, Maple from Canada hails from Quebec and has one ingredient and one ingredient only, which is maple syrup. Now, fun fact about real maple syrup. Depending on when it's harvested and what the temperature is like, you may have some slight variations in the color of the maple syrup. So you may have a maple syrup that's a little bit more amber in color, or you may have a maple syrup that's a little bit more golden in color. However, regardless of the slight variations in color, just know that real maple syrup is rich in flavor, versatile, and will elevate any dish or sauce that you make with it. And speaking of sauce, today's chili maple sauce can be used on pretty much anything. Obviously today we're going to use it on some juicy fried turkey, but you can also use it on some fried chicken or any other dish where you just want something sweet yet spicy. Now, like always, stay tuned until the very end of the video where I will be sharing my tips and tricks to helping you get the perfect fried turkey each and every single time. Let's go ahead and get started. I love making fried turkey for the holidays because the turkey always comes out super tender, juicy, and delicious. So first things first, we're actually going to make a brine for our turkey, and you want to use about 8 cups of water. And now we're going to add about half a cup of kosher salt, a whole head of garlic, because remember, with garlic, the more the merrier, some whole black peppercorns, some fresh rosemary, and some fresh sage. And we're just going to mix that all together just to help that salt dissolve. Now we're actually going to warm up our brine, and we're almost making like a rosemary, sage, and garlic tea. And this is really going to help infuse some awesome flavors into our turkey. Now, once your brine has come to a boil, you definitely want to let it come down to room temperature. And now we're going to take our room temperature brine and we're going to pour it all over our turkey. Now, the benefits of making a brine is that the turkey really has time to soak up all of those yummy flavors, and it's also going to help the turkey remain nice and juicy while we fry it. Now, this is something you can also do if you plan on baking or roasting your turkey. So after we've added the brine, we're actually going to cover it with some saran wrap, and we're going to let it sit in the fridge for a minimum of 12 hours, but I do recommend 24 hours just so that you get the maximum amount of flavor. We're now going to make the sauce, and of course we're going to be using some Maple from Canada, which, as you guys know, is very nice and rich in flavor, and it really lends itself to some fresh orange juice, some apple cider vinegar, some cayenne pepper, and some red pepper seeds. Now, when it comes to the sauce, you can make it as spicy as you want. And it's also important to note that anytime you are making some kind of spicy sauce, you want to balance it out with a little bit of acid, which is why we're using some orange juice and some apple cider vinegar, which really pairs well with Maple from Canada. So after that sauce has kind of come to a simmer and boil, we're going to actually pour it into a gravy bowl, and we're going to let it come up to room temperature and chill that overnight as well. So once you finish marinating and brining your turkey, we're actually going to pat it dry. And this is really important because you want to make sure that we fry some really nice crispy turkey. But before doing so, we're going to season it some more with some fresh kosher salt and some fresh black pepper. And afterwards, we're going to flip them over and we're going to season them again on the other side. Now, because we've brined our turkey, we actually don't have to go too crazy when it comes to seasoning the turkey itself, because believe it or not, that brine has infused completely throughout the turkey breast. So now we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to start making the breading for our fried turkey, and we're going to be using some all-purpose flour, some cornstarch, and then we're gonna just very gently season this with some garlic powder, some paprika, and some onion powder. Now, whenever I'm frying anything and I'm using a breading, I do like to mix together some all-purpose flour and some cornstarch, only because it's going to make everything come out super nice and crispy. So now we're actually going to set up our assembly line, and we're going to be using some buttermilk, but if you can't find buttermilk, then regular cream or milk will do. Just make sure to use a whole milk. We're now going to dip our turkey breast into the buttermilk, and then we're going to dip that into the flour cornstarch mixture. And you want to make sure that the turkey breast is evenly coated with the flour. And then we're just going to take away and dust any excess flour and place that onto a baking sheet. Now you want to make sure to have everything prepared, because next thing is that we're actually going to start frying our turkey to absolute perfection. And you want to make sure that your oil is at about 350 degrees Fahrenheit when you start frying them. And it's important that you don't overcrowd the pot. In fact, I recommend only frying about 2 pieces at a time to make sure that your oil stays consistently hot. And after about a few minutes, we want to go in and check the temperature, and you know that it's done when the internal temperature is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. We're then going to drain the excess oil, and we're going to enjoy our fried turkey while it's hot, but not before we pour over some of that delicious chili and maple sauce. So there you guys have it, my recipe for some fried turkey. Comment below if you have any questions, and until next week, I'm Chef Z y buen provecho. Alright guys, here are my quick tips and tricks to helping you get the perfect fried turkey each and every single time. For my first tip, feel free to make the chili maple sauce ahead of time and also chill it. In fact, I recommend making the chili maple sauce the day before whenever you are making the brine. And once you're done making that chili maple sauce, let it come up to room temperature and then place it in the refrigerator. And once you're ready to use it, just take it out about 20 to 30 minutes before so that it comes back up to room temperature. Now, the benefits of making it the day before or a few days before and then chilling it is that you actually give those yummy flavors a chance to settle and come alive. And chilling the maple chili sauce is actually going to allow the sauce to come back to that syrupy consistency, which is so delicious. Now for my second tip, feel free to substitute the turkey with your favorite protein. So that can be pork or it can be chicken. And just know that you want to follow all of the steps as I've laid out in today's video. For my third tip, I highly recommend using a cast iron Dutch oven to fry the turkey or any protein that you may be frying this holiday season or throughout the year. Now, the benefit of using a cast iron Dutch oven to fry anything that you're making is that cast iron Dutch oven is going to retain the heat really well, which means that your oil is going to stay consistently hot, which is something that you definitely want, just so that your foods come out nice and crispy each and every single time. For my fourth and final tip, these are more so ideas to help you revamp some leftovers. Now, one of the things that I discovered when actually testing this recipe is that these leftovers taste amazing the next day, either as making some turkey and waffles or my personal favorite, a fried turkey sandwich. And let me tell you guys something, that chili maple sauce did not disappoint with the leftovers, so I highly recommend that you give it a try. So there you guys have it, my quick tips and tricks to helping you get the perfect fried turkey each and every single time. Thank you again for watching today's video, and special thank you again to Maple from Canada for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Chef Z family, and if you need some ideas on what to cook next or some inspiration for the holidays, go ahead and click right here.